IIHM, popularly known as the International Institute of Hotel Management, is one of the largest private hospitality institutes that imparts world-class education and can firmly pride itself for being one of the most foremost academic institutions of the country that offer globally recognized international degrees in hotel management. The hugely popular events that they host, IIHM International Young Chef Olympiad.
As the last dish is plated, they can only wait till the evening for the verdict to be pronounced.
Malaysia!
IIHM as an institute has always been able to define its core objectives clearly over the years. It is an institution that has always worked towards causes that give back to the society. IIHM proudly and aptly calls them food soldiers, a dynamic group of students working tirelessly to ensure a hunger-free world.
Hotel management. Hotel plus management. At IIHM, the education is like doing a BBA plus hospitality. Because at IIHM, we train our students to become global knowledge in hospitality, charismatic, and they have got the study skills of very hardcore management subjects like finance, strategic HR, global marketing, and a whole range of the management inputs.
IIHM.
For a great hospitality career, call 98310 50,000.
Namaskar and very, very warm welcome to the global studios of IIHM right here in the scenic beauty capital or the international tourism capital of the world called as GOA. Goa. Welcome to the Goa studios of IIHM दोस्तों और आज हम बहुत ही simple terms में ये बात करने वाले हैं कि how do you choose, how do you decide that which hospitality management college is going to be the right choice for you. How do you decide कौन सा hospitality management college आपके लिए बिल्कुल सही fit बैठता है जिससे कि आपके करियर को सही तरीके से growth मिल सकती है. Which hospitality management college can get your career to boom? Well, first of all, let me introduce myself. We are talking to you from the world's largest hotel management social network. We are talking to you from International Institute of Hotel Management. My name is Sameer Mehta and I'm the director of IIHM Goa. जब मैं आपसे बोलता हूं कि हम विश्व के सबसे बड़े होटल मैनेजमेंट सोशल नेटवर्क हैं, इसका क्या मतलब है? इसका मतलब है कि हम विश्व में सबसे बड़े सोशल नेटवर्क को बिलोंग करते हैं. हमने पूरे विश्व में 55 से ज्यादा कंट्रीज को कनेक्ट किया है और वो सभी ये मानती हैं that we are one of the best hospitality management colleges available in the world today. So where are we? Who are we? तो मैंने बता दिया. Where are we? We are currently situated in Kolkata, Delhi, Bangalore, Jaipur, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Pune, right here in Goa, Bangkok, and Samarkand in Uzbekistan. Well, good news और भी आ सकती है. For that, you will need to stay tuned and look forward to what we have in progression in future. But largest private hospitality management college in the country, definitely one of the best in the country, one of the best in the continent, and one of the best in the world. Why am I saying all that? ये मेरा आज का विषय है. Today we will discuss why is it that a hospitality management college is called IIT of hospitality. Why IIHM is called as the IIT of hospitality. हम ऐसा क्या करते हैं जिससे कि हमारे स्टूडेंट्स का करियर pretty much guaranteed हो जाता है, भले ही वो एम्प्लॉयमेंट में हो, चाहे वो बिजनेस में हो, चाहे वो खुद का बिजनेस स्टार्ट करना चाहे, चाहे वो रेस्टोरेंट स्टार्ट करना चाहे, इवेंट मैनेजमेंट कंपनी स्टार्ट करना चाहे, या इन फील्ड्स में आगे एम्प्लॉयमेंट करना चाहे, कि क्यों हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को सबसे पहले अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है. This is what we are going to discuss today. This is how we are going to start our topic today. आपने फोर्ब्स के बारे में जरूर सुना होगा. Forbes is a magazine, an international magazine, which talks about ranking, right? जैसे ब्लूमबर्ग रैंकिंग करती है, वैसे फोर्ब्स भी रैंकिंग करती है, एंड फोर्ब्स एक्चुअली अ मच बिगर ब्रांड देन ब्लूमबर्ग इन टर्म्स ऑफ रैंकिंग। तो अगर आपको जानना है कि विश्व में सबसे रईस, which are the richest people in the world today, you go to Forbes, right? You want to understand which is the most popular restaurant in the world today, you go to Forbes. Similarly, best institutions की ranking भी Forbes करती है, and Forbes has identified IIHM as a great place to study. So there is something that is happening in IIHM that makes people believe that we are one of the best in terms of hospitality education. And what makes us that different? Like our chairman and chief mentor, Dr. Shubhodh Bose, always says, right? We develop people to become extraordinary with this 5-letter word extra added to whatever is happening everywhere else in the world. That's what makes a student of IIHM special. Well, I will break the presentation down into 3 phases. We are going to talk about 3 main topics which identify which are the reason why IIHM becomes the best hospitality management college for you to choose, for you to develop your career in. What are these points? We'll follow up one by one. Because you need to understand why IIHM is also considered one of the friendliest campuses in the world, one of the friendliest places in the world, one of those institutions which would always pay heed to what the students say. And this is not me talking, this is once again Forbes. Why would Forbes vote IIHM as a great place to study? We are going to discuss that. Well, the first part, सबसे ज़्यादा important, सबसे पहला point जिससे कि आप identify कर सकते हैं कि एक institution सही है या वो क्या आपको पढ़ा रहा है वो ठीक है कि नहीं, is the content of the knowledge. हम आपको क्या पढ़ाते हैं वो सबसे ज़्यादा जरूरी है, isn't it? In the end, हम सब कुछ कर लें पर अगर हमने आपको ज्ञान नहीं दिया, अगर ज्ञानवर्धन नहीं हुआ, तो उस कॉलेज का होना बेकार होता है. So first and foremost, the content that we teach. At IIHM, we firmly believe that your knowledge is not just bookish in nature. Bookish knowledge foundations के लिए सही होती है और वो foundation आप स्कूल में बना कर आते हैं हमारे पास. Our responsibility is to give you a holistic knowledge, holistic education, which is why we believe a lot in practical exposures, because we believe that experiential learning is most important facet of learning today. And when I say experiential learning, इसका क्या मतलब है? आप learning experience करें. आप जो भी हम आपको सिखाना चाहते हैं, उसको आप पहले खुद experience कीजिए. वो experience अगर आप करेंगे, तो आपकी learning ज़्यादा होगी. बशर्ते सिर्फ एक किताब खोल के उसके बारे में पढ़ लेने से. That's why it is important for you to experience. So when I say hospitality, अगर मैं आपको hospitality experience ना करवाऊं, तो फिर आप नहीं समझ पाएंगे कि what is it that makes the best hospitality professional in the world. That's why we ensure that our students go through a very rigorous practical training exposure, जिसमें वो खुद practically hospitality को experience करते हैं. When I say experience करते हैं, which means we give them real-time exposure to hospitality management. यानी आपको examples के तौर पे सिखाता हूँ, समझाता हूँ. जैसे आपके सामने स्क्रीन पर अभी बहुत सारे फूड फेस्टिवल्स के नाम हैं. IIHM जहां पे भी हैं, उस शहर में सबसे बड़े फूड फेस्टिवल्स जो ऑर्गेनाइज होते हैं वो जनरली IIHM के स्टूडेंट्स करते हैं. एंड आई कैन टॉक proudly about that because even here in Goa, in South Goa where we are situated, one of the largest food festivals that is conducted as an event is done by us, by our students at IIHM. And when I say conducted by students of IIHM, इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो 4 घंटे के लिए वहां जाके आ गए, तैयार होके यूनिफॉर्म पहन के और उन्होंने खाना बना के सर्विस कर दी. नहीं. When I say my students conduct the event, it means right from pen and paper to brick and mortar. My students plan out the event. They identify which date the event is going to happen. They identify the place of the event. They identify the menu which they are going to serve for the event. Then they are supposed to come to me with a budget for the entire event. वो budget approve भी हो सकता है, disapprove भी हो सकता है. There are times when I send my students back and say, no, this budget is not workable. Go back to your workstations. And then they have to bring a workable real-time budget of what their event is going to cost. उस costing के साथ they are supposed to get me their sales projections. यानी they are supposed to tell me कि उस event में उनकी कितनी sales होंगी और पर टिकट कॉस्ट, टिकट वाइज कितना प्रॉफिट करेंगे, किस तरह की स्पॉन्सरशिप्स आ रही हैं इवेंट में, ये सभी मेरे स्टूडेंट्स करते हैं राइट फ्रॉम ईयर 1 टू ईयर 3। और जब ये 3 साल के बाद जब ये सारे इवेंट्स करके ये बाहर निकलते हैं, I am confident that I can wake them up in the middle of the night and I can tell them that please go ahead and you're in for an event. And my students don't even blink. They look at me, they say, sir, we are ready. Just tell us where to go, what time to start. That's the kind of confidence that we are able to inculcate in our students just by the way of conducting our learning experiences, which is experiential learning. एक्सपीरियंस से जो सीखेंगे वही डेफिनेटली आगे फॉलो थ्रू करेंगे। और यही कारण है कि हम अपने स्टूडेंट्स को बहुत ज्यादा रियल टाइम एक्सपोजर्स देते हैं। फूड फेस्ट इज वन ऑफ द एग्जांपल्स। सिमिलरली वी हैव समथिंग कॉल्ड रियालिया, जिसमें कि हम अपने स्टूडेंट्स से थीम डाइनिंग करवाते हैं, यानी वो ही हम उनको एक रेस्टोरेंट दे देते हैं, उस रेस्टोरेंट को वो थीम में कन्वर्ट करते हैं और उस थीम के बेसिस पे दे सर्व the members of the faculty, they serve external guests, they invite external guests, they ensure that the service is properly done। और ये सब एक्सपीरियंस से वो सीखते हैं किस तरह से हॉस्पिटैलिटी आज विश्व में चल रही है। That's exactly how our students learn the art of hospitality, and similarly and simultaneously they learn the business of hospitality। याद है मैं फूड फेस्ट की बात कर रहा था? Well, उसी फूड फेस्ट में our students, they don't finish their task after the food fest is over. They need to come back to me with what was the feedback. They need to bring the actuals in terms of finances. तो हमारे स्टूडेंट्स एक इवेंट की A to Z हर चीज सीखते हैं, and that's what makes them specially able, or should I say more capable of running a specific event। ये खासियत है। तो हम सिर्फ इवेंट से नहीं, ये एक्सपीरियंशियल लर्निंग को हम मल्टीपल फेजेस में डिवाइड करते हैं, अलग अलग सब्जेक्ट्स के बेसिस पे सिखाते हैं, राइट। मैं आपको कुछ सब्जेक्ट्स के बारे में बताता हूं जो हर एक हॉस्पिटैलिटी मैनेजमेंट कॉलेज आपको डेफिनेटली सिखाएगा, बट देन वी लर्न हाउ वी डू इट डिफरेंटली। ठीक है, द फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट इज अ डिपार्टमेंट कॉल्ड एज रूम्स डिवीजन, व्हिच कैन बी फर्दर सबडिवाइडेड इनटू समथिंग कॉल्ड एज फ्रंट ऑफिस और हाउसकीपिंग। फ्रंट ऑफिस वो डिपार्टमेंट जो कि it's called as the face of the hotel. This is the hotel, this is the department which deals directly with the guests. This is the department which communicates with the guests right from the time of reservation to the check-in, at the time they come into the hotel, and then if there are any complaints, any kind of feedback, any loyalty queries, any query at all, so this is the department that handles all those queries. This is also the department that deals with room sales. This is also the department that deals with fluctuation of pricing in rooms, right? So this is the department, the front office department, that talks about a lot with guest interaction and room sales. To tell you more about how front office plays out, we have with us Ms. Nupur Bhaumik, who takes care of front office at IIHM Goa. Can we please have Ms. Nupur on screen?
Welcome to my beautiful front office lab, and with my dynamic third year specialized front office specialized student Elroy, Nana and Nikita. Now front office being the front of the house and revenue generating department, front office starts the experience of the guest. So when front office is starting the experience of the guest, the people who are working in front office has to be dynamic. Now in IIHM, our curriculum is beautifully planned so that you learn the basic in first year, you learn little accounting in second year, you learn all managerial thing in third year. Now how you need to be a very dynamic person, you have to have a very good body language, you have to have a very good grooming. Now for that, in front office, during front office practical, we do have property management system Opera, which is a live session, but along with that we do a lot of role plays. Now these role play, how they help students, I will ask my third year student Elroy. So Elroy, how the role play help you to evolve as a front office person?
Actually, the role play, it has helped me in building my confidence, my communication skills, and many other things. It has also banished my stage fear and helped me in various ways.
Okay, thank you so much, Elroy. Now, as we know, when we enter any hotel, we see front office and we see very well groomed, good looking, and they carry themselves very nicely, and automatically the guest experience starts from there. So I have my third year Nana, who will be describing about importance of grooming and the body language in front office. Nana?
So the most important thing that I have learned from being a part of front office is to be well groomed and how to present yourself well. The guest experience begins with front office. So when a guest sees someone who presents himself well, he is more likely to have a good experience later on. Body language also plays a very important role in the hotel industry. Front office not only teaches you how to have a good body language, but it also teaches you how to read different types of body language. This helps you to understand the type of person someone is or what he is going through. This is very important to sell a product and to be hospitable.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much, Nana. Now we have learned about grooming, we have learned about body language. I'll tell you one thing, we have a lot of events in IIHM. So when these events are organized, the front office people does marketing, they approach people for sponsorships, and that is a task given to them so that they know how to approach a stranger, they know how to sell their product, because their main objective is to sell rooms. So automatically they evolve the personality evolves. Now after what? After third year, where will they end up? So we have our student Nikita, who will tell you that once you are trained as a front office personnel, where will you be placed? Okay, so Nikita.
For career opportunities in front office, in the hotel industry we have front office associate, which can later be promoted into a duty manager, a front office manager, and later a room surgeon manager. With our specialization in front office, we are also well groomed in sales and marketing, which can later help us in the marketing industry, such as revenue management, which gives us a chance in retail, travel agencies, and OTAs. We also have an opportunity in airline industry as well as the cruise lines. Well, for front office, our main goal is for customer satisfaction, which is almost in every industry. So anywhere where there is customer service industry, we also have a job opportunity.
Thank you, Nikita. Beautifully said. So you have seen front office, when you are trained in front office, it is not only hotels. It is, of course, the airlines, of course, banking sector sometimes in private banks. Then you have OTAs, then you have travel agencies. A big company which is coming up, that is retails, and of course one more venue has opened these days for front office people who are good with numbers, that is your revenue management. So that's all from our side. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Nupur. Well, that was a very interesting aspect right there. Revenue management. Revenues today are no longer a fixed commodity which hotels used to make. Today, whatever you can get, you work on it. And that's what we teach in front office. That's how our students know that tomorrow, maybe they will not sell a room just at 10,000. Maybe they want to increase it to 15,000, and they plan themselves accordingly. Well, that's what we tell our students. The next department that is a part of rooms division also is called as the accommodation operations. The accommodation operations is the department that deals with cleanliness, hygiene, sanitization, making it one of the most important departments today in any hospitality management firm. And it's not just about hospitality management. Almost every industry today requires accommodation operations, or housekeeping as it is commonly known as, because these have become very important aspects of a work culture today. That is sanitization, hygiene maintenance. Well, to top it all, very important aspect is the interior decoration. Somebody has to ensure that the hotel that you're working in looks absolutely perfect. It gives you that feeling of being in one of the most beautiful spaces available in the world, be it a resort like the one behind me. By the way, that's our campus, or any other space that you're looking at. And if you like that space, there is a team of people who are making it look good, and that's the accommodation operations or the housekeeping team. To tell you more about housekeeping, we have with us Ms. Pearl Rodrigues, who takes care of housekeeping in our campus. Can we have Pearl on stage, please?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Pearl Rodrigues, and I head the housekeeping department or the accommodation operations department at the IIHM, Goa. As you can see around me, there is lush greenery. I'm presently standing outside one of the practical labs. Why do I say one of the practical labs of the housekeeping department? Is because we have a full-fledged resort over here. If you can see, this is a room over here to my left, and there is a room behind me, and we have many such rooms around, right up to the small hillock that we have over here. If you can see the swimming pool now, which we have over here to my right, look at the lovely thing there. The dome-shaped thing is the restaurant, which you can see at a distance, where we have our students working, yes, and getting live experience, real-time experience, yes. Now today I'm going to talk to you something about the housekeeping department, the accommodation operations department. Now this particular department is to the laundry, to the designing of uniforms, to the color schemes of the walls, what color will go where, what flowers will go where, how the restaurant upholstery will be, or how the restaurant will be decorated. Everything lies with the housekeeping department. Yes, we not only teach you how to clean, we also teach you the interior designing part of it. Okay, now when you graduate from the course of hotel management from here, and if you're specializing in accommodation operations, let me tell you that hotels is not the only place where you can look for jobs. You can look for jobs in MNCs, you can look for jobs on cruise liners, in specialty restaurants, in interior designing. There's a whole lot of scope. Now what do we teach here, or what do we do for 3 years? You may be saying 3 years is quite a long time. But in the first year, we teach you basics. We teach you basics of housekeeping as to what is done, what do the ground staff do. For when you become a manager one fine day, it is very important for you to know how your lower staff is working, what work are they doing, so that they do not take you for a ride if you do not know anything, right? So in the second years, we teach you supervisory jobs. Okay, supervisory work, how are you supposed to be like a supervisor, what are you supposed to do? Yes, and then in the second year, we also have our internship, where you are sent on an internship for 6 months, where you'll be training in all the departments. Yes, and you will be choosing your department after the 6 months training as to which department you want to specialize in. Now coming to the third year, what do we do in the third year? In third year, we teach you managerial stuff, like how to prepare a budget, how to act like a manager, what are the things you should be knowing as a manager, how to do the different types of reports. Everything is done in third year. So by the end of third year, you know what the ground level staff is doing it, how they're doing it, because you've done it in first year. Second year, you know how you're supposed to act like a supervisor because you've done the supervisory work. And in the third year, you're going to do the management part of it, so you're ready to be a manager. Yes, hoping to see you fast and soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Pearl. Well, that was the housekeeping department, the department that takes care of beauty wherever you see it, in terms of landscaping, in terms of interior decor, in terms of cleanliness, in terms of hygiene, and in terms of sanitization as well. The department that entirely makes sure that whosoever comes, stays, works in the area, feels good about being in such a beautiful place. Another department that deals with service, basically, is the food and beverage service department. By the way, we are not just talking service. We are also talking about restaurant management. We are also talking about event management. We are also talking about ensuring that any kind of event that can happen anywhere, or any kind of food service or beverage service that can happen anywhere, runs through or is taught in this department. This department is called the Food and Beverage Service. To know more about the Food and Beverage Service department, we have with us Mr. Dhiren Kurtarkar. Over to you, Dhiren.
A very good evening and a very good day to everyone, and I hope everyone's doing fine. My name is Dhiren Kurtarkar and I take care of the Food and Beverage Department at IIHM. So I welcome you to the Food and Beverage Department at the IIHM Goa. Now that you know me, I will quickly show you our lab. Now that you see right behind me, we have the dispense bar, right exactly that you see in a five-star hotel. Around me, you can see tables, chairs, and a proper setup of a fine dining restaurant. I'll just move around so you can see the entire lab. So this, as you can see, different types of setups laid on the table. You can see the lighting, right like you see in a fine dining restaurant. Our entire lab is air conditioned. It can accommodate easily about 30 students at one given time, even with social distancing. As you can see, we have all of the different equipments that are needed according to industry standards for your practicals. Right. Now that all of you all have seen the lab, now let me talk a little about the Food and Beverage Department. Okay, as discussed earlier by Sir, the Food and Beverage Department is that department that takes care of the service of food. The food that's prepared by the Food Production Department is being served by the Food and Beverage Department. However, it isn't as small as it looks like. In the hotel itself, we have different sub-departments in the Food and Beverage Department. For example, the restaurant is something that we usually represent the Food and Beverage Department with. However, there are other subsections like the butler service, the pool bar, the dispense bar, banquet department, the lounge services. So all of these sub-departments come under the Food and Beverage Department. Now here at IIHM Goa, we will teach you from starting from serving of water, to laying different setups, doing different types of services, making different cocktails, mocktails, service of alcoholic beverages, tasting of wines, and all of these. All of these practicals will be conducted here, right here in this lab. Apart from these, we have a lot of activities and events that are related to food and beverage. For example, cocktail and mocktail sessions, wine tasting sessions. We'll have themed lunch or dinner, and we can have breakfast services. So all of these are special events and activities that take place. So this is to do with the Food and Beverage Department, and coming a little into the career prospects are endless. I can go on and on with the list, as Mr. Samir Mehta has already spoken about the career prospects in Food and Beverage Department. Even if I keep aside the hotel entirely, we have so many other sectors in which you can get into by just learning food and beverage. So you can get into cruise liners, rigs is already discussed, restaurants, hotels are obviously there. Apart from this, we have private catering, we can do industrial catering. So the opportunities are endless. So thank you so much. Over to you, Samir sir.
Thank you so much, Dhiren, and so beautifully explained. Well, that is the idea of food and beverage service. One of the most happening departments, and to be very honest, one of the most glamorous departments, because you are working with, well, you're working with food and you're working with beverages, two things that people die for, isn't it? Well, that's the point. The next department is also one of the most popular departments in any hospitality field, and this is the job of a chef. That is the food production department or the culinary department, the department that deals with preparation and storage of food. And who in the world doesn't like food, isn't it? Well, to talk to you about food, I'll call two chefs who take care of food production in our campus, Chef Sangeeta and Chef Pratiksha. Well, chefs, over to you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. That's a lovely evening here. It's about to rain in another few minutes, I think. And that's the greenery in front of our college, in front of the college kitchen. See, lovely greenery. And here we entered the kitchen. We got a beautiful and huge kitchen. We have, as I was just mentioning, what are the different kinds of events we take place, what are the different variations where children come over here. We have different events like food sojo, we have different events like the inter and the intra-college competition where the students compete amongst each other. And here, these are the different tables, these are the different places. You can see the huge kitchen. At one stroke, at least 40 students can work together. Imagine how beautiful it would be when the COVID situations were not as bad as right now. I'm sure that things will be no sooner very beautiful and very good once we are back to college. But then here, this is what it is. We have, along with each table, we want to keep a oven also so that it's easy for different students to work at the workplace. At the same time, we have different kind of various the dustbins which have been used. We explain to the students how do we differentiate between a dry garbage and a wet garbage, and that's what it is. And we try our best to keep the most modern equipments to help our students to understand what is, how beautifully you can cook, how beautifully you can have your hands-on job and work well. Now I would like to introduce you to our one of our, we call her the chef of spices or the queen of spices along with me. She is Chef Pratiksha. If Chef Pratiksha, if you can come over.
Good evening, everyone. This is Chef Pratiksha from IIHM Goa. Welcome to our kitchen. Here, me and Chef Sangeeta, we both take care of our kitchen over here. We actually cater for different events over here. Many students together, they work here. As you can see in the kitchen, there are steel tables as the tables or the setup is there in the commercial restaurant, commercial hotels, 5-star hotels. As Chef mentioned, we keep all modern equipments here. We have ovens, we have deep freezers over here. You can see refrigerators, storage, everything is placed properly, nicely clean for all the practicals, for all the events. Yes, as the chef mentioned, we do many events in the colleges. One of the best events which we do over here is YCO. Yes, it is an event where from all over the world, 60 countries, they participate in the event, and students from these countries actually they come here, they compete, and we actually call different Michelin star chefs to judge the competition and to give the marks. And actually they come over here, they stay here along with the students, and they judge the competition. Yes, Chef Sangeeta?
I would like to mention and explain what is the YCO all about. This is actually a worldwide competition where IIHM is actually powered by IIHM. Not only IIHM Goa, but IIHM. And all the different campuses, they take the lead and make sure that the students we divide the students from all countries into each campus, and then we start the competition and we move on. Next, I would like to mention, Chef Pratiksha, that we have in IIHM Goa, there's something called El Gusto, which is our own created, the first ever e-magazine of IIHM. And that is not only done by us, we help our students to take out or make over, do something nice out of it. And they have their own articles written to it. They have their own pictures, food pictures. There is no internet pictures, definitely. They create their own pictures and they will do it. Pratiksha, I would like to ask you if you can give certain lines about what is the scope of Indian cookery in our modern days.
Yes, Chef Sangeeta, I would like to explain this. As we are Indians, okay, we actually know about Indian cooking, but because many of our household cooking or our mother and families, they cook Indian food. We think that Indian cooking is not so popular. But if we go to foreign countries, there are many restaurants, they are doing very well with the Indian cooking. There are many tandoori restaurants, Indian food restaurants, North Indian cuisine restaurants, those are doing very well over there. But we as an Indian, we already have hands on that cooking. So if we get a little bit training of that, yes, of course, you can settle down in foreign countries. You can open your own restaurant, which is the best, maybe in the future, the best restaurant all over the world, or maybe you can open a chain of restaurants. This is the scope for Indian food. And yes, of course, here in India, different cuisines are there. So many cuisines in one Indian food. Yes, so of course they can learn a
And
lot.
I must mention that it is something called cookery, and I'm sure Pratiksha is expert. Whenever we have an event, we cater to 1,000 people with our food festivals, which usually we have it during the month of December. But then looking at the scenario, maybe it's not possible. But yes, we don't forget to do it in a small number of people. We have even hosted where we have celebrated Women's Day. We have called the best or the most populated people, women in Goa, and the more powerful people of Goa, and we have catered to them, and we really, being the woman chef, we really feel proud about it. And yes, I would like to also mention there are different stages of each of our year where we teach the students the different kind of cuisines, different kind of international and national cuisine in the year wise. By the time they are in year 3, they're almost maybe not the best, but they try to be the best. We place our best in the best hotels of India, where they can showcase their talents, they can show what beautifully they can learn, what beautifully they can tell them or show them what are into them.
Actually, here in IIHM Goa, from the first years, we actually distribute the events for the students. So yes, at in the first year, they can compete for that particular event. In the second year, they teach more about the kitchen or industry to them. So they actually participate in that different event. As Sir mentioned in his speech, that Realia event which we actually do for the students, where they get money from the institute and they actually use a commercial place.
They become, by the time they are in college, they start being an entrepreneur, right?
Yes.
They want to be, how we teach them how to become a businessman, even when you're learning. The profit goes to them, right?
And how can we forget about food soldier event, which recently for 15th August we did.
Every year IIHM does the same. Every year we have something called food soldier, where we try and donate some food to the underprivileged people, or we go to a place where we feel good as an IIHM team to serve our own created food. We must mention about the breakfast event, which we especially do for the year 1 passing out students, where they have, I think, Chef Pratikya, you can talk about it.
Yes, it is a breakfast event where we actually do the lavish breakfast setup, which you get in the 5-star hotels. Okay, ranging from cold cuts, fruit cuts, fruit juices, different types of cheese, international cheese, along with its accompaniments, bakery items, breads, everything. All this means under one roof, where actually students, they prepare this everything, where they get an idea how the buffet will be actually in the hotel industry when they enter actually in the hotel to work.
They go for this training in their second year, so before they could even step ahead, we try to give them a little visualization of how the hotel breakfast looks, and that's what we do. I would also like to mention one of our students was very fortunate enough where IIHM creates a tour, a special culinary tour with our chef, the main head chef, to learn different cuisines. This time they had gone to France, where one of our students was selected to different technical questions. The best one student from IIHM Goa, and all over campus is one student who has been nicely selected and been taught, and he or she goes to a position where the entire team goes for a tour, like friends tour, and they get to learn a lot of memories and a lot of beautiful things for us, and which is great.
Actually going to that country and learning the Italian food over there, the international cuisine over there, it is a privilege to study over here.
And where the student doesn't have to spend a penny, it's all about your caliber, your learning, the way you want to learn the best creation. So that's all about IIHM. I think
this is all about IIHM Goa kitchen. Here, me and Chef Sangeeta signing
off from IIHM Goa. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, chefs. Well, lovely spoken, and of course, a brilliant overview of what culinary world today looks like, how culinary world is treated at IIHM Goa, which is what makes me very, very proud, because you can understand my punch now, isn't it? We have got some fantastic food preparations, some fantastic food research that goes in, and all my students take care of that. That's the beauty of studying at IIHM Goa. Well, let me move forward and let me talk to you about what else do we do to ensure that what our students learn is much, much better. Well, of course, our students also go for an industrial training for getting more exposure in the industry, that is the hospitality or the hotel world, during their curriculum, that is before they pass out, usually in the second year? Well, here's some of our students and what were they doing and where were they training. These are all international trainings, boys and girls. These are all different places, locations across the globe where our students conducted their training. They were taught by some of the best hotels in the world. And that's when they come back with this kind of exposure, automatically they are marked to be different from everybody else in the hospitality world. That's what makes our students slightly better. That's what makes us one of the world's best hotel schools. And this is not Samir Mehta telling you, this is ZTV telling you. As you can see right there on the screen, ZTV has identified IIHM as one of the best places to study and the best hospitality education brand in the country. Well, that's award number 2 that we have just spoken to you about. So definitely something coming up there. मैंने आपको बताया अभी तक कि एक चीज है जो कि बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है कि कॉलेज चूज करने के लिए, and that is the kind of education that the college gives you, right? The content, the information, the knowledge that the education institution is giving you. बहुत जरूरी. Let's come to the second part of it. जिस तरह से एक institution अपनी society, अपनी इंडस्ट्री के लिए बेनिफिशियल काम करता है, वो स्टूडेंट्स को सीखना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है. Because while we make good professionals, it is equally important for us to make our students excellent human beings. बहुत जरूरी है एक सही इंसान होना. तो ये इंसान होना का क्या मतलब है? जैसे हमारे शेफ्स ने आपको बताया, सोल्जर have the same goals as the United Nations sustainable goals of the world, right? तो जीरो हंगर जो गोल है, जो यूनाइटेड नेशंस का गोल है, जिसमें कि वो हम ये बांध के चलते हैं कि हमको पूरे विश्व में से हंगर को मिटा देना है. Well, we are doing our best to ensure that happens. Our students are doing their best to ensure that happens. We ensure that हमारे आसपास के इलाकों में खाने की कमी ना हो, और ये किसी भी इवेंट के दौरान हमारे यहाँ से खाना बन के आजू बाजू जाता है. तो सोसाइटी से लिंक तो एक चीज है. दूसरी बहुत बड़ी चीज ये है कि हम रिसर्च, अपनी इंडस्ट्री को हम क्या दे रहे हैं. वेल, इंडस्ट्री के लिए साथ भी वी आर अटैच्ड इन अ ह्यूज वे. What you see on your screen is what we have initiated this year in 2021. These are the FIIHM. These are the fellows of IIHM. They are International College of Distinguished Fellows for IIHM. Now, when I say international college, international क्यों? Because they are global icons in the world of hospitality. Not just in India, internationally, global icons. People like the chairman or the chairperson of APJ Surendra Hotel Group, Miss Priya Paul, or Mr. Ritesh Agarwal, who is the founder of Oyo Rooms, जो कि आज विश्व में तीसरी सबसे बड़ी होटल चेन है in terms of room inventory, right? Or you have Chef Carl Guggenmoss, or you have Mr. Jacques Leroux. These are world leaders in hospitality, the world leaders in the idea of hospitality. और ये सभी IIHM से जुड़े हुए हैं as fellows of IIHM. अब ये fellows of IIHM करते क्या है? Their job, one, sit together, think about how the industry progresses. इंडस्ट्री कैसे आगे बढ़ेगी, इंडस्ट्री आगे किस तरह से ग्रो करेगी. तो अपनी सारी कंपटीशन, अपने सारे डिफरेंसेस को दूर हटाकर ये सब एक साथ बैठ के ये डिस्कस करते हैं कि इंडस्ट्री को आगे कैसे ले जाना है, और ये IIHM के फोरम पे होता है. Secondly, they also guide and mentor our students. They are already very successful business people, and they guide our students to follow up on how to become better at their own jobs, at their employment, or at their businesses. और ये mentorship आपको IIHM दिलाता है through FIIHM. इस तरह से हम इंडस्ट्री के साथ कनेक्टेड हैं. We are also one of the best connected hospitality management colleges in the world in terms of networking, but more than networking. So, and here I bring my third point in, which is तीसरी सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट चीज जिससे कि आप एक कॉलेज डिसाइड कर सकते हैं वो है प्लेसमेंट। किस तरह का प्लेसमेंट आपको आपका कॉलेज दे सकता है इमीडिएटली आफ्टर ग्रेजुएशन। वेल, व्हाई डू आई स्पेसिफाई इमीडिएटली आफ्टर ग्रेजुएशन? बिकॉज हमारे यहाँ भारत में एक अंडरस्टैंडिंग चलती है कि हम आफ्टर ग्रेजुएशन हम पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन में जाएंगे, आफ्टर पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन हम सोचेंगे कि हमारी जॉब का क्या होता है। ये जरूरी नहीं है। इन फील्ड ऑफ हॉस्पिटैलिटी immediately after graduation you can get your placement done. Just to give you figures, and these were released in 2020, mind you, the pandemic year, 77% of the students who do hospitality management get placed immediately after graduation in hospitality. And ये तो एक ब्रॉड पर्सपेक्टिव है, ये पूरी की पूरी इंडस्ट्री की बात आपको बता रहा हूं। चाहे आप किसी भी कॉलेज से पास आउट करें, वेल IIHM से पास आउट करेंगे तो डेफिनेटली यू आर गोइंग टू गेट प्लेस्ड। व्हाई? बिकॉज हमारा नेटवर्क बहुत बड़ा है और ये सारे ब्रांड्स जो आपको अभी स्क्रीन पे दिख रहे हैं ये सभी के सभी हमारे इंस्टीट्यूशन से रिक्रूटमेंट करते हैं। We are talking about all the Marriotts of the world, the Hiltons of the world, the Accords of the world, the IHGs of the world, the Tajes, the Oberois, the ITCs of the world. All of them recruit from IIHM. So इस तरह की placement opportunity आपको जो college दे सकता है, well, that college is definitely right for you. And industry connect सिर्फ placement तक ही सीमित नहीं रहता. You know what we do? Well, chefs were also talking about this. We send our students out for a culinary tour, a fully paid culinary tour to some of the culinary destinations of the world. Of course, ये student के पास passion होना चाहिए, सीखने की चाहत होनी चाहिए. So we take an internal competition and then we identify the student, and that student is sent on a completely paid culinary tour to identify with a certain cuisine. Let's say French cuisine, तो वो हम फ्रांस में भेज के उनको फ्रेंच cuisine के बारे में सिखाएंगे. Similarly, हम वाइन्स के बारे में अगर आपको पढ़ा रहे होंगे तो हम किसी स्टूडेंट को जो कि एक्चुअली बहुत पैशनेट है वाइन्स के बारे में, हम उसको एक कंप्लीटली पेड टूर पे भेजेंगे फॉर लर्निंग अबाउट वाइन्स. Could be France, could be Italy, could be Germany, where wines are the most popular. These are known as the old world capitals of wines. वहां पे जाके स्टूडेंट्स जो है हमारे वो वाइन के बारे में सीखते हैं. तो इसीलिए वो स्टूडेंट्स जो हैं वो उस फील्ड में डेफिनेटली बाकियों से काफी आगे निकल जाते हैं. इस तरह का एक्सपोजर हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को मिलता रहता है बिकॉज द काइंड ऑफ नेटवर्क वी हैव. लेट मी गिव यू वन मोर एग्जांपल. आपने इरास्मस के बारे में सुना होगा और अगर नहीं सुना है तो आप इसके बारे में गूगल कर सकते हैं. यूरोपियन यूनियन हैज क्रिएटेड Erasmus student exchange program wherein European schools interchange students and they discuss about certain forms of research in terms of hospitality, in terms of food development, food science, etc. इंडिया से एकमात्र कॉलेज है जो Erasmus के लिए इंक्लूड होता है and that is IIHM. हमारे यहाँ से स्टूडेंट्स Erasmus प्रोग्राम के तहत यूरोपियन यूनियन की कंट्रीज में जाते हैं रिसर्च करने के लिए. एक एग्जाम्पल देता हूं आपको टॉपिक का. यूरोप में काफी सारे ऐसे देश है जहां पे सूरज जो है वो काफी टाइम तक नहीं निकलता. You know, you have 3 months of complete darkness or 4 months of complete darkness, and then you have the days coming up. So in countries like this, production of food is a problem. Production of grains is a problem. My students have gone there and conducted or done some research to identify how can you grow crops in lack of sunlight. Can you do it artificially? In artificial light, can you grow crops? ये रिसर्च हमारे स्टूडेंट्स ने जाके की है. तो सोचिए कितना ज्यादा एक्सपोजर स्टूडेंट्स को मिलता है when they are doing something like this. इस तरह की स्टडी करके, इस तरह की स्टडी से हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को जो एक्सपोजर मिलता है उससे our students get placed in all of the major brands across the globe. These are some of the ideas of placements that IIHM Goa students have gotten placed in. Right? Look at the brands that you have right in front of you. Azaya, Marriott, and so on and so forth. Right? You've this Mood, which is one of the most prominent bakery patisserie brand. You have the Leelas, which have been awarded one of the best luxury hotel brands in the world consecutively for the second year, 2020 and 2021. और ऐसी जगह पे selections होते हैं IIHM के students के. Well, to bring this entire round up to a close, very happy to announce that IIHM has also been awarded the Education Excellence Award in 2021 once again by Z Media. Education Excellence 2021 का award मिला है IIHM को for our contribution to the education sector. Makes us very, very proud, and we have another feather in our cap. This is our chairman and chief mentor, Dr. Shubhona Bose, who was awarded Excellence in Hospitality Education by Udan, Dare to Dream by Z Hindustan again. So, boys and girls, अगर इतने सारे awards continuously मिलते जा रहे हैं तो कुछ तो होगा. That makes IIHM a great place to study according to Forbes. That makes IIHM the best education brand according to Z, which makes IIHM the best education brand according to Economic Times for consecutively 4 years. Well, today's discussion was what makes us the best. What makes our students, more importantly, the best in the world hospitality professionals. Well, ये जानकारी के साथ I will leave you to ponder on whether or what kind of institution works well for you in the world of hospitality. And it's not just about hotels, it's about expansive career progression in multiple fields. याद रखिएगा, जहां पे भी human to human interaction चाहिए, वहां पे एक hospitality management student की requirement है. और वो requirement कौन सा कॉलेज आपको पूरी करके दे सकता है? You need to think about it yourself. Well, leaving you with that thought and saying bye-bye. Stay safe and a very, very happy Dashera to you. Namaskar, signing off from IIHM Goa Studios.
IIHM, popularly known as the International Institute of Hotel Management, is one of the largest private hospitality institutes that imparts world-class education and can firmly pride itself for being one of the foremost academic institutions of the country that offer globally recognized international degrees in hotel management. The hugely popular events that they host, IIHM International Young Chef Olympiad.
As the last dish is plated, they can only wait till the evening for the verdict to be pronounced.
Malaysia!
IIHM as an institute has always been able to define its core objectives clearly over the years. It is an institution that has always worked towards causes that give back to the society. IIHM proudly and aptly calls them food soldiers, a dynamic group of students working tirelessly to ensure a hunger-free world.
Hotel management. Hotel plus management. At IIHM, the education is like doing a BBA plus hospitality. Because at IIHM, we train our students to become global business hospitality managers. In one hand, they are full of knowledge in hospitality, charismatic, and they have got the study skills of very hardcore management subjects like finance, strategic HR, global marketing, and a whole range of the management inputs.
For a great hospitality career, call 98310 50,000.